The Hungarian Socialist Party, known mostly by its acronym MSZP, is a social democratic political party in Hungary. It was founded on 7 October 1989 as a social democratic party by the reform wing of the ruling socialist Hungarian Socialist Workers Party. As a result of the 1994 parliamentary election, MSZP won an absolute majority and entered a coalition with the Liberal Alliance of Free Democrats. Thus the post-communist party was released from a so-called political quarantine. MSZP was one of the two major parties in Hungarian politics until 2010. However, the party lost much of its popular support as a result of 2006 protests and the 2008 economic crisis. Still, MSZP is the strongest opposition party in the parliament since 2010, when its longtime right-wing rival Fidesz won a two-thirds majority. History. It is the partial successor of the communist Hungarian Socialist Workers Party, which ruled Hungary between 1956 and 1989. The decision to declare the party a successor of the MSZP was controversial, and still carries repercussions for both the MSZP and Hungary. Another source of controversy is that some members of the former communist elite maintained political influence in the MSZP. Indeed, many key MSZP politicians were active members or held leadership positions within the MSZP. The party is not to be confused with the Workers' Party, a marginal party of hardline communists and another successor to the MSZP. On economic issues, the socialists have often been greater advocates of liberal, free market policies than the conservative opposition, which has tended to favor more state interventionism in the economy through economic and price regulations, as well as through state ownership of key economic enterprises. The MSZP, in contrast, implemented a strong package of market reforms, austerity and privatization in 1995–96, called the Bokros Package, when Hungary faced an economic and financial crisis. According to researchers, the elites of the Hungarian left have been differentiated from the right by being more supportive of the classical neoliberal economic policies, while the right has advocated more interventionist policies. In contrast, issues like church and state and former communists show alignment along the traditional left-right spectrum. It is also noteworthy that, according to research, the MSZP elite's positions used to be closer to voters of the SZDSZ than to their own. Besides a more liberal approach to the economy overall, the MSZP differentiated itself from the conservative opposition through its more recent focus on transforming state social policy from a collection of measures that benefit the entire population, such as subsidies available to all citizens, to one based on financial and social need. Besides Gyula Horn, the MSZP's most internationally recognized politicians were Ferenc Gyurcsány and Laszlo Kovács, a former member of the European Commission responsible for taxation. At the 2006 elections, MSZP won with 43.2% of party list votes, which gave it 190 representatives out of 386 in the parliament. The MSZP was therefore able to retain its coalition government from the previous term. In earlier elections, the MSZP polled 10.89%, 32.98%, 32.92% and 42.05%. After the successful fees abolishment referendum, MSZP formed the first minority government of Hungary, following the SZDSZ's backing out of the coalition with a deadline of May 1, 2008. 2010's decline. On the 21st of March 2009, Georg Szanyi announced his resignation as Prime Minister due to failure management of the economic crisis. Gordon Bajnai became the nominee of MSZP for the post of Prime Minister in March 2009, and he became Prime Minister on the 14th of April. Georg Szanyi also resigned from his position of party chairman, which he had occupied since 2007. MSZP has lost half of its supporters during the European Parliament election in 2009, when the party received only 37% of the votes and gained 4 seats, compared to the previous 9 seats. This electoral defeat marked the end of the de facto two-party system in Hungary, which lasted since 1998. The Hungarian Socialist Party suffered a heavy defeat in the 2010 election, gaining only 19.3% of the votes, and 59 seats in the parliament. Following the resignation of Ildikó Lendvai, the party's prime minister candidate Attila Mesterházy was elected chairman of the Socialist Party. Nevertheless, MSZP became the biggest opposition party in Hungary. The left wing fragmented after the 2010 election. At first, Katalin Szalai left the MSZP to form Social Union, following the similarly significant defeated local elections in October 2010. Nevertheless, Georg Szanyi's detachment was a much more disaster for the socialists. Initially, the former PM wanted to reform the party, but his goals remained in the minority. As a result, Georg Szanyi, along with 9 other members of the parliamentary group, left MSZP and established a democratic coalition. Thus, MSZP's number of MPs reduced to 48. The Socialist Party entered into an alliance with 4 other parties in January 2014 to contest the April parliamentary election. Mesterházy was elected candidate for Prime Minister position, but the Unity Alliance failed to win. After that, the electoral coalition disestablished. On the 2014 European Parliament election, MSZP suffered the largest defeat since the 1990 parliamentary election, gaining 3rd place and only 10% of the votes. After the obvious failure, Mesterházy and the entire presidium of the Socialist Party resigned. Ideology. In political terms, the MSZP differentiates itself from its conservative opponents mainly in its rejection of nationalism. The party is a member of the Progressive Alliance, Socialist International, and Party of European Socialists, and it holds a chairmanship and several vice-chairmanships in committees at the European Parliament. Leaders. Election results. National Assembly won as part of the Unity Alliance. MSZP ran together with Together 2014, Democratic Coalition, Dialogue for Hungary and Hungarian Liberal Party. European Parliament single-member constituencies voting consistently for MSZP. The image shows single-member constituencies voting for MSZP in 1998, 2002, 2006 in dark red, while showing SMCs voting for MSZP in 2002 and 2006 in red. The dark red districts are considered the strongest positions of the party. Most if not all districts shown in dark red and red also voted for MSZP in 1994, a landslide victory for the party. So actually, dark red districts have an even longer uninterrupted voting history of supporting MSZP. Gallery.